Hello GSV peeps, this is my second attempt at just recording the little intro in here because too busy thinking aloud. This is the next mission to the Moon by Minmus, and as you can see on the mission screen or the mission dialog box up here, we have to get into an orbit between 95,000 and 100,000. I'm slightly confused by this inclination accuracy because it just says inclination accuracy 90. It doesn't have to say it needs to be at 90. And then we've got to orbit around Kerbal, and then we have to release some mystery goo so they can see it on Kerbal, and then we have to go and orbit Minmus at about 9,000 to 12,000 meters. And again, orbit inclination accuracy, so if that needs to be done at an equatorial orbit, then then we have to do a gravity scan, and then we have to crash Moon 1 into Minmus, which isn't too much of a problem. You don't need too much DV for that. The problem I've got is I only have 5,000 DV, according to this down here. I did pull up McLeod just to give me some orbital info here, but we haven't got, in fact, Kerbal Engineer is hidden behind here. Kerbal Engineer, if we show the engineer, this will show us our DV, where is it? DV 5066, so it's not that much difference to that. I know sometimes the engineer does work it out differently. So let's get rid of Kerbal Engineer. And I don't have enough DV, there's not enough fuel in the ship if it wants me to go into equatorial orbits. So I'm assuming that does not mean it needs to go into an equatorial orbit. This business here about inclination accuracy 90 degrees or 90, I have no idea what that means. So we are not going to do that. So there we go. We have to reach Minmus's sphere of influence, and that's the basic sort of thingy. So let's go full. As you can see, I have not made this plane. Well, as you can't see because you might not have missed me making it. But this is where the mission gives you. It gives you this fun little plane with the little spiky things here and a setting sun. I am going to go for a 90 degree shoot once we've launched. Do myself any damage there? Oh, I don't know. Let's go pro grade. And let's turn that one off, so I'm just burning hopefully the steerable ones which don't give me so much thrust. So I want 95,000. I want to go up to, come on, this is definitely not the best way of doing it. I'm actually in space now, so we can get rid of this. We can have a quick look at that. Come on, fall out of the way, don't come back and hit me. Have a quick look at the little probe thing that wants us to. Right, so now I'm facing what you call it, prograde. Let's take it up to 95. Probably not the most. This is more efficient than what I'm doing with the ISPs on these are. This is probably okay. Yeah, it's not, is it? It's it. Come on, let's activate that engine again to the periapsis. Just pin that. Let's just concentrate on burnout slightly until we get to. So I've got about, it's only a 10-second burn or something, 15 seconds. So let's just burn now. And that is, let's just come back to that. So we're on the last stage here, which I got slightly worried in case we didn't have another stage, but just watch that apoapsis, that periapsis. Oh no, I just want to creep this periapsis up to 95, keep that one under 100,000. So if that gets to 100,000 before that gets to 95, it's going to, isn't it? 99,000, so the only way I'm going to get that out to is come around to here and then do another burn. So let's do that. Absolutely brilliant. Right, so can't remember what I'm supposed to do next. Go check for. So yeah, okay, that's the tick. Check performing a science experiment. So we need to look at the goo now. The goo is tucked up under here, so let's go observe mystery goo, and I suppose we can transmit it. Must be stored. Okay, I will keep experiment. There we go. A little message popped up. Crew, this is Walt Kerbal. Yes, from PR department. Good. Spreading a majestic multicolored cloud. No, it's more like a rainbow. See through the sunlight. No, two rainbows. Whoa. Yes. Kerbals are celebrating the achievement. We're going to receive more applications through the astronaut complex. Nice job. Just now think about putting the probes to sleep after setting the course for Minmus. We'll be in touch again when you're orbiting Minmus. Right. It's probably right, because actually these batteries, if I look in here, I've got a little bit of charge, but I'm using it up, and I do need to put it to sleep. Now the probe is tucked in down here somewhere. There's that one there. So actually we can certainly hibernate the big one, and now I need to figure out a course to Minmus, and I can probably just eyeball that. So let's target Minmus, come around to a point where Minmus is just going to be rising over the horizon. It's probably about there-ish. And because I'm not an equatorial, because you can see I've got 1800 DV left, I would burn most of that off in coming round to an equatorial orbit, to be honest. Ah, control locked. Why is the control locked? Am I using the wrong? Let's go for that one and control from here. Lost Minmus again. There's Minmus. So still control locked. Why are you control locked? Is that am I missing something terribly? Like I can't put that into hibernation yet because I've got to do the maneuver node first. Yeah, okay. Right, so I'm just going to extend that out till we get a Minmus encounter. Whoa! Now there was one there, I'm fairly certain there was one there. Wait, look, what was that? Oh, come on. What is that there? Oh, that's a moon encounter. Oh, okay. That's no good. Can't really see myself slingshotting off the moon either. That is about way past it. That's because, yeah, I spotted that. So let's bring this back to here. And bring this. Need to see if we can get an encounter off of it. Is this what we call an oblique orbit? So I'm just going to keep twiddling this. There we go. So that is a 0.2 second burn. So that is way too much for me. So we're going to deactivate that engine. Now you'll see it's a 0.6 second burn. And what I can do with that is I can bring those down. If I bring those down to 6%, still a 0.6 second burn. So it's come right down to 10%, 0.7 second burn. Well, okay. So we do want to fast forward to that maneuver. But before we do that, can I move to the node in hibernation node? It looks like I can. Seven, 6, 5, go. Oh, what are you doing? Why are you not holding? Ah, okay. This isn't necessarily good. I need to come out of hibernation. Not sure why it didn't hold the retrograde, but perhaps something to do with me not putting the... Get out of the way. Want to get in here and get... Don't want the propellant tank. Oh, I'll slow it down a little. Here we go. Right. Hibernation off and control from here. So that is now coming back. Now, just have a quick look at this. That's activated. That's activated. That's activated. That's activated. So all those little ones, these, what do they call them? Cubs. Cubs are all working. So I'm not 100% sure why that didn't do what it's supposed to be, but it sort of messed up my plan slightly. What did I damage something when it ejected that last stage? This engine here is just not working. Ah, for some reason, when I limited it, it didn't limit them all. It only limited that one. So that's the problem. That's the problem. Ah, right. Okay. Okay, so hopefully now depowered. Go on. 10, 10, 10. Well, it's between 10 and 12, so actually that's probably enough. That's at 9,000. Oh, there we go. You got the ship to Minmus. Give yourself a pat on the back. Hey! Now it's time to learn a little bit more about a mysterious, smaller satellite. Going to settle once and for all with a Minmus made up mint-ice cream. First we need you to conduct and transmit a gravity scan with that small blue box on board. We need you to crash Moona 1 into Minmus to test its composition. We know you can do it. Right, so back over here. The gravity scan. Perform a gravity scan in space around Minmus. I have lots of DV left, absolutely. Right, the gravity scan jobby tucked in the middle here. There we go, so we'll log the gravity data. Does it want me to... It can transmit it. There you go, take a little while to transmit. Oh, I hope I've got the battery power to do it. Oh, this might just be close. 80. Electric charge. Good. But I am really low on power now. And now I've got to crash Moona 1 into Minmus. Test the distance to the moon. Right, so I don't want to crash the whole thing because I've still got to get to the moon, I think, which is, yeah, if I've missed, never mind thinking that was the end of the orbit. But I've actually got to get from here to the moon, and I've only got 600 dV to do it. That's got all the electric charge, that hasn't got any electric charge. Right, that's the problem. Right, so we can pin that. Pin that. That one. That'll do. Then discharge the probe. Nothing in the instructions about making sure it's got some power. So we'll decouple it. Change over to it. Just check its thingy. Change back again. Actually, this. So yeah, 2000. If you was looking at the other one, it does say, yeah, there's a hill there. So why is this gone? Hibernation off. I thought that was the one with SAS, to be honest. Oh, there we do. Yep, turn SAS on and then it all pops up. So I want to go prograde then. And I want to burn just enough just to bring that periapsis up to about 10,000 again. So we'll do it slowly. Like that. Now I can just watch the little one crash into the ground here. Just speed warp, time warp round. Pointless little RCS thing. Just going to clip the top of these mountains. I hope it hits. Well, does it have to crash? Can it bounce? Oh, well, nice little thump. Nice work on the fabulous and educational destruction of Moon 1. In fact, you did so well, we now want you to crash Moon 2 into the moon. Isn't rocket science France? Isn't rocket science France? Isn't rocket science fun? Whilst working on that, our scientists will be working overtime to determine if Moon is as delicious as it appears in our telescopes. Right, so send Moon 2 to orbit the moon. Right. This... Oh. What are you doing? What did I click on? Did I click on? All right. Okay. Moon 2 is still in orbit around Minmus. And there was I thinking. Yeah, there was I thinking that actually I have to get this probe. I could have crashed the whole thing. After all that, oh, do I get extra points? Perhaps I just get kudos for, leaving a probe around the... Let's just launch. So, T, Z. trying to sort of work out an encounter with a moon from a 45-degree inclined orbit here, which obviously means that actually if you try and do it your normal way, if you extend your orbit out from down here, obviously the orbit flies off way. So you have to complete the orbit either at the one of the nodes, the descending node or the ascending node. And I've managed to work out we can get it here. I mean, the periapsis is miles away. It's about 1.25 million, but you know we'll go with that as a first go. We'll go with that. As you can see, now I've actually put myself in an orbit around the moon, albeit a very skew-whiffy one. It's actually come up with an orbit telltale. So obviously it's a standard orbit, equatorial, periapsis 30,000 meters, apoapsis 30,000 meters, and that is going to be quite difficult to get that accurate, to be honest, unless anyone else knows of a way of doing it. But ascending node 68 degrees and descending node minus 68 degrees, though don't quite understand. I think that's what our apoapsis and periapsis, that's where our nodes are. So I think what we need to do is obviously find ourselves. Oh, it's gone. Why is it gone? Oh no, just zoomed out. What we need to do is figure out where that is. It's close to the actual orbital line, so we're not going to go too far off if we squeeze it in through there. Anyway, so we're going to have a go at that. Put a maneuver node in here. Might have to do 2 of them. Just try and get this around to an equatorial orbit in 739 eV. What I'm going to do is come round to the periapsis, come retrograde again, come round to the periapsis, just keep tweaking it until I get there. I'll bring it back. Actually, just as I whizzed it around to that periapsis, I didn't have to tweak it at all. As you can see, once that's disappeared, you can see actually orbiting the moon at 30,000. The pink line's disappeared. It's accepted at 10%. So measure the accuracy of the test. So this test distance has been ticked. I don't quite understand how we did that. It's this test the accuracy of the test. Operator, I don't understand what this is. Change the score of the moon, score modules, expansions. This is where it's not quite so polished. The missions have left some sort of code left in. I think what the next thing for me to do is measure the accuracy of a test. Accuracy 10%. Operator, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do with that. Can't do anything with that either. Change the mission of the score modules pass. So we're just going to go for checking for performing an experiment moved somewhere around the moon. I've got to restart because I did my goo experiment around the... Yeah, I did my goo experiment and I haven't got a scientist on board, so I can't restore it. I don't think. Oh, I can reset because I didn't transmit it. So now I can go observe mystery goo. Check for performing. It must be stored on completion, or we can do that. So that's that ticked. Then check for a vessel being destroyed. So okay, so at this point here, right, that does it. Every Kerbal looks at the moon, dreams tonight with McLeod and goo. Someday stand on the moon and see Kerbal. The final part of your mission: guide Moon 2 into the surface and crash it in a giant fireball. Do it somewhere we can watch from here. So I've got to do it on the Kerbin side of... It doesn't say that here, or it doesn't hint that here, but it wants me to crash on the Kerbin side. So I could do it, actually. It's going to be dark on that side. Moon's rotating that way, so if I just burn retrograde now, which I've got, and crash the whole thing here, oh, that should do it. Yeah, he says. So let's go for a time warp and watch it as it goes. Here it comes. Let's plant it right into this hillside. There's a big boom. Total score, bronze award. Could be better, but not bad for the first attempt. And brilliant. So, thank you very much for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed the fireworks. Well, the little puffs of smoke anyway. Big explosions, but we will see you all in the next one.